Hello and welcome back to Culinary Haven. Today's dish is quiche, a recipe on request and always in demand. And today we're making our favorite, Quiche Lorraine, Culinary Haven style. Let's begin. To make Culinary Haven Quiche Lorraine, you will need, for the crust, 220 grams of plain flour, 110 grams of unsalted butter, cubed, half a teaspoon of salt, and a few tablespoons of cold water, icy cold water. We'll get to that later. And for the savory custard, we will need 1 pack of smoked bacon lardons or panchetta, 150 grams, 1 large onion, 6 eggs, 50 grams of grated cheddar cheese, 50 grams of grated mozzarella cheese, and 50 grams of finely cubed feta cheese. And also a tub of double cream, which is 300 ml, and the same amount of sour cream, a tub of 300 ml. And some freshly ground black pepper and a pinch of nutmeg. And now let's prepare the crust. I'm going to make it today in the food processor, but you can also do it in a bowl or even on the worktop. You work the flour with butter together, just working it between your fingers until the mixture resembles breadcrumbs. So put the flour and salt sifted, 220 grams of plain flour, and 110 grams of cold butter cubed. Work it for just a few seconds. It was, 3 seconds. I'll give it another 5 and that's enough. And now we're going to add the icy cold water. Just make sure that the water is very, very cold. If you're doing it in a food processor, at this point, as little work as possible. What we're looking for is for the dough to start clumping together, and that's when we stop. It is clumping together, and we'll finish on the worktop. Just get it on here. Looks like just a pile of flour, but it isn't. Just with your hands, push it together. See? All we need is 1 more tablespoon of cold water. Okay. And now we'll take a piece of cling film, shape our dough into a disc, and refrigerate it for about 30 minutes so that it rests, chills, and develops some gluten that will make it easier for us to roll it. Just cover tight in the fridge for 30 minutes. As the dough is resting in the fridge, we're going to use this time for cooking the bacon and the onion. So in a frying pan, preheat a very little amount of olive oil, because there's plenty of fat in bacon, or if it isn't, we'll see later. But just now, just a spoon, a tablespoon of olive oil, and put the bacon in, and then peel and chop the onion. So just a tiny amount of oil, just to get it going. Put the lardons in, starting to sizzle immediately. But we're going to cook it on low for about 10 minutes until all the fat is rendered. I'm actually going to put a glass press on it to make it quicker and more efficient. Let's see, it's been 5 minutes. The bacon is cooking nicely and slowly, and it's important because we don't want it to be tough and chewy, and we also want all the fat out of it. So we'll leave it for another 5 minutes. Like I said, we're cooking the bacon before adding the onion for 10 minutes. The bacon is cooking there, rendering its fat, and now we're going to finely chop this onion. I'm sure you know how to chop an onion, but I'll show you. Cut it in half. In slices. And then across. Now it's been 10 minutes and it's time to add the onion. It looks like a lot, but it isn't really. When the onion cooks down, there will be not much left. We're going to cook it as well on a very low heat, stirring every 5 minutes for about 15 minutes. It has to be this way. Be patient. You don't need to stand here all this time. Just watch your clock and attend to it in 5 minutes. 5 minutes later, you can see that the onion has reduced significantly. You can just say it's halved from the bulk there was in the beginning, and it's cooking nicely and will continue doing so. We're looking for a very nice, soft, golden color. Onion and the bacon, of course, will be also browned by then. I'm not adding any more oil. Don't need to. Put the lid back on and leave it for another 5 minutes. Let's see. Lovely. See how well it's all cooking now. All the juices from the bacon and from the onion are gone now, and they will, from this point, they will just brown up and get the nice color. Now we don't need to recover it anymore because the onion is soft, so we'll just continue cooking it for about 10 minutes or so, maybe even less, until the bacon and the onion are nicely browned. It's ready. As you can see, lovely golden brown bacon and onion. We're done here. So what we had there was a pack of bacon lardons and a large onion, and if you cook it well and properly, this whole frying pan of bacon and onion reduces down to this. That's all. And now we'll just put the bacon and onion in this little bowl aside, and let's roll out our crust. We're going to make a deep quiche, and I'm going to use this deep a tart tin, which has, it's 20 centimeter in diameter, but it has also 5 centimeter fluted side. So we need a 30 centimeter in diameter rolled out of our short crust pastry. Let's do that. So flour your surface and flour your rolling pin. Unwrap the dough, start rolling out very gently, pressing very lightly, and keep turning the disc. Keep turning, and it will get flatter and wider with every turn. And remember to always keep your worktop and the rolling pin floured. And if you have some excess flour, just brush it off with a pastry brush. By turning the dough every so often, we're not only preventing it from sticking to the worktop, but we're also trying to keep it in shape. We want it to be round, and that's what we are achieving by doing this. And this small piece of dough will give us large round to fit into this very deep tartine. If it tears here at the edges, don't worry about that. We'll fix that when we have that diameter that we're looking for. At this point, you can apply more pressure now because the dough is already well spread out and we're getting closer and closer. So aim, turn it over again. And you can see all these little specks of small pieces of butter. This is a very good sign that will, when it's baked, it will create those little air pockets and make the pastry light and crisp and flaky. Now we're going to check. We need 30 and we're well over 30, so that's fine. Now we can just transfer it and fill our pastry case. Roll the dough up your rolling pin. Bring it in over and just gently drape it down and let it just fall in without pushing it or pulling or stretching it. We don't want to stretch the dough because we don't want the dough shrink when we're baking it. It just drapes down naturally, very slowly and gently. This dough will not shrink, guarantee. With your index finger, just push it now, push it gently down at the base, making sure that it touches the base all over the tin, and then go around and fill in the fluted sides. And now we just cut out the excess. You can even do it with the rolling pin. Look at that. Perfect, isn't it? And now we're going to place our pastry shell into a freezer for 2 hours. And these are the scraps that we have left. I don't throw out anything. What I do with this, I'm going to use this little remaining piece of dough for our short crust pastry and make a few little savory biscuits. Just roll it out about 3 millimeters to 3 millimeters thick and just cut out with your favorite cookie cutter as many as you can. They are delicious. I'll let them freeze and then brush them with the egg wash and sprinkle with some delicious things. And I'll use this up as well. See how pretty they are, solid, frozen now, which is good. And we're just going to quickly egg wash them and sprinkle them. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of black onion seeds on them, also known as nigella seeds, and a little bit of sesame seed and a little bit of Parmigiano Reggiano. Isn't that just gorgeous? How tempting. There. And now I'm going to bake it in the preheated to 180 degrees Celsius oven for about 12 minutes until they're nice and golden. And here we are, 15 minutes later. Look at them. Pale golden, puffed up a little bit, see? And they're absolutely delicious. They're very crumbly and crispy, and just never throw leftover pastry away again. Time is up. It's been 2 hours and our crust is frozen completely. You can't damage it now. You can do whatever you want with it. So solid. And now we're going to blind bake it. Take a large piece of tin foil and put the shiny side down. I use and reuse this one, so don't throw it out. Cover it so it's not burning, just baking. And fill it with your either ceramic beans or any dried beans. And now we're going to put it on a baking tray and bake it at 190 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. Time is up and we'll take it out of the oven and remove the foil and the beans. The foil is not hot. Take it out and put the shell back in the oven for 5 minutes just to crisp up. And now we have 5 minutes to prepare the filling. First we'll crack the eggs into a large bowl. 6 eggs. 6 large eggs. I'm going to use electric whisk. You can do it with a manual whisk just as well. And we'll first just give it a little whisk just to loosen them up. That's enough. Next we're going to add the cream and the sour cream. 300 ml each. Just a little whisk. The sour cream. I'm not adding any salt because there is salt in the cheeses and also bacon is very salty, so for me it's enough of salt. Black pepper and a pinch of ground nutmeg. Luckily I have a spoon that measures exactly a pinch. Whisk it together. Nothing special about this whisking, just combining all the ingredients. Now we're adding the onion and bacon. You can use either bacon, lardons or panchetta. Or if you don't want bacon or onion, you can add mushrooms or broccoli, but it won't be Quiche Lorraine. I'll take out the shell and then we'll continue. There you go. A little bit more whiskey. Just to make sure that the onion and the bacon are distributed all over our savory custard. And lastly, we're adding the cheeses. 50 grams of cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, and cubed into tiny little cubes feta cheese. Quick whiz. I should have just folded it in with the spatula, but it's fine. And now we're going to pour this beautiful custard into our shell. And now let's pour our savory custard in. Perfect, there you go. And now we're going to place it into the preheated, actually it was preheated to 190. We turn it down to 170 degrees Celsius and bake it for 40 minutes. And after 40 minutes, we rotate the tray, turn the temperature down to 160 degrees Celsius and bake it for another 30 minutes. Or until the crust is light golden brown and the filling is puffed up and golden brown as well on the top, but still a little bit wobbly in the center. And here it is, already a nice golden brown. The filling is all puffed up and it's just absolutely perfect. But we need to wait now until it cools down so that we can unmold and slice it. Our quiche is cooling down nicely. All the cracks have disappeared now. They all went down and all the puffiness disappeared, and very soon we'll unmold it. And the quiche is now cooled enough for us to unmold and slice it. We'll just take a tin, any tin, and take it off. It slides easily, and just slide it on to this platter. Very, very light, so I don't want to break it. I'll just help it slightly to slide on the plate. There you go. Our quiche is ready. Let's cut a slice. Warm is actually the best temperature to serve quiche at. A little crumble here, but it's not a problem. There you go. It just shows how incredibly light and flaky the dough is. There it is, and I'm serving it today with some fresh crunchy salad. Thank you for watching this episode of Culinary Haven. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, bye!